welcome to my Scrappin space. I'm Joni Martin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator located in Southwest Wisconsin, and I'm here to share an amazing mega suite from the September to December mini catalog. What do you say we get my face out of the way and we talk paper crafting? So the mini catalog is now live, meaning as a customer you can order from it. If you don't have this amazing catalog, reach out to your Stampin' Up demonstrator. If you don't have a Stampin' Up demonstrator, reach out to me. I'd love to get you one. The suite I'm talking about starts on page 22, and there is so much in this suite. It goes all the way through page 27. Samples and samples and samples. I'm going to share some of the pieces and we're going to make a card with it, but there's so much more. You're going to be seeing a lot more projects from this in the future. First, I want to point out this ribbon. I don't usually start with the ribbon, but I love this. And Amy made this beautiful sweet board for us, and it's jam-packed because that's how much stuff is in here. Beautiful papers. The papers have a gold on one side and more of a matte on the other. And the embossing folder, oh my gosh, look at that wreath. Let's look at the bundles. So there's two in here. One is called Christmas Greenery. It's all images for those of you who love to color. And there's matching coordinating dies and some additional dies you can use. And I would point out that while Amy stamped and beautifully colored this one, that is also a piece of paper. It's also an image from one of the papers. Let's see if I can show it to you. Well, it's hidden down here. And you could cut that out also, which will be on a card I'll be doing in the future. But then look at this one. You know, seriously, if you only buy one bundle for your Christmas crafting, I think for me it would be this one. First of all, so many sentiments that you can kind of mix and match and, you know, use for different things. A to and from for your tags, a just for you, so much. But then the dies that come with it, you would use these label dies Christmas or another time. And Amy showed how well the sentiments fit on it. This, I love this traditional label set. Okay, so let's look at what we're going to do today. We're going to use this pretty paper in this really versatile card design. And the reason I did this, I was showing a friend this paper pack, and she said, oh, I really like it, but I'd use a couple sheets of paper, and what would I do with the rest for Christmas cards, or I'd have to get so many to do Christmas cards. So this is a design that you could use and repeat with each of the papers in there except for the one with that flower on. So look, here's one. Here's a different design. This happens to be my favorite design in there. And then I'm gonna show you how to make one with one of the others. So with 4 of the papers in there, you get 2 of each one. You could make a lot of Christmas cards with 1 pack of paper. And just when you're using the same design, you kind of figure out how it goes together, and they would go together pretty quick for you. So let me show you how to make this Christmas card. I did cherry cobbler for all the bases, which made it easier too. And I embossed the white part that we're going to build on. I just felt like it added a little more interest, and you could use any overall embossing folder. I'm using Damask Designs, which I really like as a great background. I do want to point out though, there's a direction on it, or at least I feel there is, and I feel like your paper goes this way. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to line it up on that line that Stampin' Up kindly gave me. When I get my embossing folders, I mark them. The name and the plate, meaning which plates I'm putting together. So I'm going to use plate 1 and 2 of plate 3, which are my clear plates. I'm always going to make sure I have a plate on top. There we go. And I'm just going to run it through. Just like that. And now I have, it's just not so flat. I have a little more interest on there. And we're going to build on here. Let's look at these little pieces. Now I have the sizes you need on my blog, so that's all there. And we're going to just put these together. And the first thing I do is I've cut them all out, then I kind of go back and I line them up. There you go. Now you could make them all the same size, but I felt like having that ascending order of size kind of reminded me of a Christmas tree. So I was mimicking that. Then I'm going to match up the right size paper with the right size embossing folder. Just like that. And you know why I do that? Because sometimes this happens. I'm futzing and I'm talking and I'm not paying attention, and this one is too long. And I'd rather know that before I put glue on it. And look at this one is too long. So we're going to just quick trim those up. And these are just 1/8 of an inch smaller than the mat. So I don't have to measure, I just have to stick it at the 1/8 of an inch mark and cut it. And let's see how we did. Well, look at that. Yep. So again, I double check because I did all 3 of those cards right, and the 4th one, not so much, of course, the one I'm sharing with you. All right. Then I'm going to attach those. You can use multi-purpose glue. You could use a tape runner. You don't need a lot. Look at that fun plaid on the back. That would be great for Christmas, but it'd be great when you have Christmas paper left over after Christmas and you can use it for something else. There we go. These papers with just that touch of golden, oh, it says, let's celebrate. And I don't know about you, but when I'm using a foil paper, like I save every scrap of it, and this uses up some of those scraps. There we go. So as you can see, this doesn't take long. This would be a card you could make lots of. And this is a sweet, you'll be seeing lots more projects from me because I just love it. Then before I attach them, I just kind of lay them down here. And again, it doesn't matter what embossing folder you use in the background. You just want something to kind of take away that flatness. So there we go. And I start with this one because this one can really only fit somewhere, I mean, in terms of the length. I've cut it just smaller than that. So once I start there, then I'm going to line them all up with this one. Then I used dimensionals to kind of pop them up. You could glue them flat. You could do whatever you wanted. And if you haven't used dimensionals, think of like sticky pieces of foam. They come off of the backing sticky already, and then you just peel off the other side. And when you do that, you want to contain them because otherwise, if you were like me and you used to just toss them to the side, yeah, if I didn't get picked up right away, they would land on my clothes and then they'd travel with me. They'd land on my shoes and end up in my car. This way they go right where they need to go from the start. And that was a tip my friend Jennifer shared with me in one of her videos. There we go. Just like that. And I just keep lining them up as I go. And as you can see, this would be a great card to make multiples of because look how quickly it's going. You could cut all one night and do a better job of cutting than I did. Whoops. There we go. And that's going to go there. And then this last little one. Then I'm going to and if, like me, you get this far and you think, that looks good, this one looks crooked, if you're very gentle, you just pop it up and straighten it out. Then, as I said, I use cherry cobbler for all of them, which would be easy because you could cut all your card bases. We're going to attach this to the front. This is an embossed surface, so I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue. I'm not going to get too close to the edge. I'm going to be pretty generous in the middle because then when I push it down, as that glue spreads out, it's not going to spread outside of my card front, so I won't have any extra glue. And I just push it down. Now, you could add a little sentiment here. I chose not to. I just felt like the paper was doing all the work. But I did grab those embellishments that I love. And I pop some of those on. Look at all the colors you have here. And you have a number of sizes. I'm going with the smallest ones, but you wouldn't need to. It's Christmas. Throw on some bling. And I am when I have, here, let me show you this. I am when I have a heavily embossed surface. I am putting it in the flattest part. It's just going to stick down better. And these are flat. So you're not going to have to worry about adding extra bulk to your envelope. Because sometimes, depending on your post office, that can impact how much you're paying for postage. This Merry Christmas came from the stamp set that's in here. Look at that font. Look at the size of that. I love that. And I have a little strip of the matching paper. Oh, look what that's going to do to that. We're going to throw that on here. So if you find a card design you like and a paper pack you like, you don't just have to use one of the papers for your cards. You could use a lot of them. This is just an easy one to do that with. And then, of course, we're not sending out this beautiful card in a naked envelope. And just this paper, it just makes these envelopes sing. I'm going to put glue just on the envelope flap, kind of around the outside. And then I'm going to put this here. Look, it's not even finished yet. You can see what it's doing to that envelope. Yeah, pretty amazing. This is a gorgeous paper pack. We're going to trim it up. Again, I know it's really long, but I just grabbed a 1/2-inch scrap, and I like it a little longer than my card because it's easier for me to maneuver it, but you can do however you want with it. We're going to throw a little bit of, notice how if it didn't catch right away, I just moved it up with my thumb. It just needed to have the adhesive ready there to start. Look at that. Look at that on the inside of there. Wowza. So then, just going to trim that up, just like so. Look at that envelope. If you got this envelope in the mail, would this not be the first card you opened? Like, yes. Okay, same card design. Look at that. 4 different papers. This does not use a lot of paper. I mean, you can get 10 envelope flaps from one 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So you could use one of the 2 sheets for your envelope flaps and the other one for your card fronts. Your Christmas cards. There you go. This is Traditions of Christmas Suite. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it more than you know. If you liked what you saw, please share it with your crafty friends. And until next time, take care and keep crafting. It's good for you.